Hey, I'm Eric, and this is my 2014 BMW M235i. I've had the car for about almost 4 months. It has about 35,000 miles on it, and it is an absolute blast to drive.
So we had a pretty good conversation on the way out here before we started recording, and we were talking about the value that this car brings at the price point that it's at right now.
Yep.
And so let's recap on that a little bit.
Yeah, so this car is absolutely fantastic for the value. I picked up this car about 3-4 months ago, and at the time I was doing cross shopping in like the $35,000 price range. So, there's obviously a wealth of cars available at that price, but if you're looking for something that's like a premium luxury sedan or that kind of thing, a daily driver that also has sportiness to it, your options are kind of limited. So the cars I was cross shopping were like the Volkswagen R, the Audi S4, and then the BMW M235i. And this car, without a doubt, like we said, is the least practical. It's 2 doors, it has the least cargo space, but by far it is the sportiest and has the best handling, best performance. To me, at the $30,000 to $35,000 price point, BMW M235i manual transmission is by far the best car you can get, that you can daily and then take to the track and tear up,
Yep, and the original MSRP you said was like over 50.
Right.
But now it's 30.
Now, yeah, exactly. So someone else, these cars, someone else leased them, someone else owned them, and now they've taken the depreciation hit. You're finding, so M235i's were produced from the 2014 to 2016 model year. Mm-hmm. So now the replacement being the M240. So any M235i you're going to get is going to be used, but it's fantastic because they've already taken the depreciation hit for you. Those cars were, fully spec'd, etc. from the factory. You're looking at like 50 to 55 grand, but now you can pick these cars up for 30 to 35, and being pretty much 80% of an M2, it's the ultimate value proposition,
Right. And are we in eco mode now?
Yeah, we might be. We should put in the more sporty.
Okay. It still has good pickup though.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll switch over the mode to the Sport Plus.
Yeah.
So you have Sport Plus, Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro.
Yeah, so you can even, I believe that you can switch individual things, if you want.
Okay.
Sport steering, but comfort suspension, that's like a usual popular thing that people like to do with their BMWs. You want to have heavier steering, but you don't want to feel, they like to artificially tighten up the steering, and if you think, a lot of the manufacturers are doing sport steering means more bumpy, which is not always the way, sometimes
right.
So it is cool that you can individually modify those things. It's not just set to one mode, etc.
Yeah, but it feels great. I like how you can feel the changes right away when you go switching through the mode.
It's a completely different car when you go through. It's funny because my dad drives. I let my dad borrow this car a couple times, and he didn't even know there was a mode thing. So I'm like, Dad, you haven't even driven the car yet. You've never gone into Sport Plus. He's only been on Comfort and Eco. So I'm like, that's not even the car yet, man. The throttle response changes completely. Everything. The steering gets much heavier in Sport and stuff. It feels a lot better. Versus Comfort and Eco, which is awesome for, if you want to turn your brain off and sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Right.
The other thing I was mentioning was it's really cool with the Eco. So, again, this car has the full range of Sport. You take it to the track and you're gonna be awesome in it. But also when you're driving on the freeway, I'm in bumper-to-bumper on the 405 all the time. The fact that the clutch blips the throttle allows you to drive completely left-footed. So if you're in bumper-to-bumper, you can basically clutch in and clutch out and have that blip the throttle, and that's what you're using to modulate you going forward.
Right.
So it's really cool because one of the most annoying things is clutching in, clutching and brake, clutching and brake, clutching and brake all the time, and you don't want to have to do that. Which is one really cool thing about that auto blip of the throttle. Is, again, you can drive completely left-footed essentially.
And you said that blip only happened in certain modes, right?
Yeah.
Which modes were that?
It should be everything except Sport Plus.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. That's pretty cool.
It pulls once you get past 4,000. It's got a little bit of turbo lag. That's the one thing. I've driven naturally aspirated cars. This is my first turbo car.
Yeah.
So definitely wasn't used to that. That's something I'm not. Usually I'm used to with the RCF. Slam the gas, no matter where you are in the rev range, instantaneous torque, and it's a lot. Kind of like that with the S2000. This one you gotta keep it above 3,000, 4,000 and stuff. But that's a turbo car.
Right. I like it. It's not like all of a sudden maximum power. Like
Oh no, right.
a lot of
It
turbo
comes
cars.
on. It comes on like pretty linearly too, right?
Right.
It's not like a. If you look at the dyno sheets, what they did with the car, and with when the power drops off at like 6,500, 6,700, you know, there's a lot of cars where you got to shift early.
Right.
And this car is not like that. The turbos kick in about 35, 4,000, and the power is linear. It grows and it doesn't drop off. It doesn't taper off
Right.
the end. So you get to shift at the limit, and it feels good when you're keeping it in the rev range. You know.
Yeah.
Which any good car is going to reward you for doing that. So it's phenomenal the way they've done it.
Yeah, and then I just feel like flipping the throttle is natural in this car. I've never driven this car before. And
Right,
haven't-
and you feel smooth. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's very different. Like it's
no problem with
interesting.
it. Yeah.
What you said as far as you've never driven this car, but you can downshift and it's smooth was the first thing I noticed when I got in the car. I was like,
Right.
I'm not this good. I'm not this used to this car yet. What's going on?
Right. Like that's just like butter.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then it's got a lot of power.
Mhm.
And you were saying it feels. I mean, to me, it feels like it has over 300. You said it dynos.
I think it's rated at 320, but they usually dyno. It's supposed to be underrated from the factory. You're getting 330, 340 numbers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
it's great.
yeah, the platform's the N55, so it's not like, hey, we just got this new engine, test it out, see how it goes. This is a tried and true platform, 3.0 liter. You know, I mean, it's the natural evolution of what BMW's been doing for the last 15, 20 years. But this is a phenomenal product. I think it's awesome.
I noticed that this feels. I mean, it feels like it has just as much power as the tuned STI I drove yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, except it's not a scary power delivery.
Yeah.
It's linear, so I can drive this a little bit more confidently.
Mhm.
So
That was the other thing, you know, the linear power is great, and then also at this, going back to the price point aspect, for 35 grand, you got to name one rear wheel drive car that's 20. You get an old Cayman. You know, you can get an
Right.
old, that kind of thing. But if you want a 2014, you want something new with a backup camera. You want the all the satellite radio, all these things, blah blah blah.
yeah,
There's no rear-wheel drive manual transmission with this kind of performance at this price point. It's
Right.
insane.
Right.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, especially now with the modern BMWs, and I've driven the M4, the new one. It was an automatic that I drove, but it's a heavy car. It's a phenomenal car, and you floor it, and you go 0 to 60 in 4.2, whatever, 4.4. It's a phenomenal car, but it's heavy.
Yeah.
And it's big. And this car, you're not lying. Your tire's not on the line in line. You got space in between the road to be able to move and maneuver even when you're in the road. Just one lane itself. It feels
Right.
good.
right.
And the electronics, the electric steering, it's actually pretty damn good. And I think maybe it took them 15 years to get there, but
Right.
everything, it's nice. It feels good. Like the weighting is pretty damn good, especially once you have to go into the Sport Plus modes to get it a little heavier with the weighting.
Yeah, I think are we in Sport Plus or?
Yeah, Sport Plus.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, no,
'Cause
yeah.
it felt really good on that. We were taking on that back road
Yeah,
down there. That was,
right. It feels good. Yeah.
I mean, it's just weird because it's like I feel like I'm in a luxury car when I'm cruising, and then when you get on it, it's like, oh, all right, let's dance.
right. It's nutty. I thought it was. I was test driving these with my dad, and it was a. So I've been switching cars every year, and I've been losing. So I've been buying new and leased. So I've been taking depreciation hits. So you don't even want to know how much money I've lost,
Right.
in the last couple years. But basically, again, I was cross shopping, and I was like, I got to get a more practical car, more cargo space, blah blah blah, one size, because I need a better car than just this RCF. I can't carry any people. It costs too much, blah blah blah. But my mom, knowing me best, she said, "You love sports cars. Drive this car." So I actually wasn't even gonna look at the M235i until my mom was like, "Listen to your heart. Go try it out." Blah blah blah. So when I drove this, it was the one, man. It was the one.
Yeah.
It's just it's like you said. You feel like you're in a luxury car, and then you go press the gas, and you're like, "Dude, this is a sports car."
Yeah. This is an awesome car. I think you made the right choice on it.
Yeah.
I had no idea on the price point. That was a pretty interesting talking point to me.
Mm-hmm.
But we're actually going to run out of camera space on that card right now. All right, so that was Eric's M235i. Next time on Owner Review, we are going back in time to the 80s to review a 944 Turbo. But this is not an ordinary 944 Turbo. This is the 944 Turbo S. And it is a Silver Rose edition, so it's going to be pretty cool. If you want to check that out, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and make sure that you enjoy your car.